The Last Welder, a true story of Trollhättan. 2011, the power died at 3:47 p.m. Linus Ekberg, 23, stood beside the last Saab 93 ever built. His grandfather had welded the first Saab 92 in 1949. His father worked the 900 turbo line. Now Linus watched 60 years in because some Dutch bankers couldn't make payroll. The factory went dark. In the silence, someone wept. Linus pressed his palm to the cold metal. "I'll be back," he whispered. In 2012, the Chinese came. National Electric Vehicle Sweden bought everything, the factory, the tooling, the debt. Linus watched the press conference in his apartment. The new owners smiled and promised electric cars and thousands of jobs. The plant will restart, they said. Linus waited by the phone. It never rang. 2013 December, snow on the factory roof. The line restarted with 300 workers, a tenth of what it once had. Linus got the call at 6 a.m. He was at the gate by 6:45, welding mask in hand. Hassan, his old partner, hugged him at the door. "Brother, welcome home." But it wasn't home, same machine, same floor. But the Saab name was gone, lost in some legal fight. The cars rolling off the line wore blank grills like corpses without names. Linus worked anyway. What else could he do? At night, he'd walk past the corner where his father's station used to be. The spot was empty now, just concrete and dust. 2014 to 2022. 8 years of nothing. Money ran out. The Chinese stopped paying. One by one, the 300 became 200, then 100, then 20. Linus stayed until the end. "You're a fool," Hassan told him, cleaning out his locker for the last time. "This place is dead. Let it go." Linus looked at the silent assembly line. The half-finished cars frozen mid-construction, the tools hanging from hooks like skeletons. "I can't," he said. Hassan hugged him and walked out. The door clanged shut. Linus stood alone in the dark factory. Above him, a single emergency light buzzed. He came back every morning anyway, sat in the parking lot with coffee, watching the building breathe. No one else came. After a while, even the security guards stopped showing up. The factory became a ghost. 2023. Nev's abandoned it officially. Linus read the press release online. The company will focus on China operations. Trollhättan facility is no longer viable. He drove to the factory that night. The gates were chained. Weeds grew through the parking lot cracks. Someone had smashed a window. He sat in his car until 3 a.m., listening to the radio play old songs. 2024, December. The auction. Linus stood across the street with Hassan and a dozen other old workers. Trucks loaded the stamping presses, the same machines that had shaped metal for 70 years. Each one felt like a coffin leaving a church. "The dies," Hassan whispered. "They're selling the dies. The 9-3 body tools. The last pieces of real Saab history. Once those left, no one would ever build another again." Linus watched a Chinese buyer inspect the largest die, the one that stamped the Griffin logo into every hood from 1978 to 2011. The buyer nodded. The auctioneer raised his gavel. "Sold." Linus turned away. He couldn't watch. 2025. Nothing happened. The factory sat empty. Vandals came. Copper thieves stripped the wiring. The roof leaked. Winter snow melted through holes in the skylights and froze on the floor. Linus stopped driving past. What was the point? He got a job at a Volvo supplier in Gothenburg. Good pay, steady work. Everyone said he was lucky. Every night he dreamed of Trollhättan. March 2026. The news hit like a heart attack. Nev's to restart 9-3 production at Trollhättan plant. Linus read on his phone during lunch break. Coffee spilled across his hand. He didn't feel it. Hassan called screaming. "Did you see? Did you fucking see?" Linus drove 3 hours without stopping. The factory was alive. Lights blazed. Trucks unloaded parts. Workers, young ones, strangers, moved along the assembly line. The old dies were back. Someone had bought them at auction and returned them. Linus stood at the fence, hands gripping the chain link. A foreman walked over. "You lost, Grandpa?"
Boo! Yeah, there's a black guy on your screen right now. Anyway, look, long and short, I cannot be bothered for this stupid generated video anymore. I'm cutting it short. You can listen to the rest of the video, but I'm not doing none of these pictures no more, man. Listen to it or just go somewhere else. Sorry, no disrespect.
Linus pointed at the building. I worked here 23 years. The foreman's face changed. Shit, you're one of the old crew? Yeah. The foreman hesitated and unlocked a gate. Come on, the boss wants to meet the veterans. Inside, everything was different. New robots, new computers, new management. But the floor was the same concrete Linus's father had walked. The air smelled the same, oil, metal, sweat. A woman in a business suit approached. Linus Ekberg? Yeah. HR said you might come. We're hiring, need people who remember how this place works. Linus looked at the assembly line. Cars moved past. 9-3 seconds. Identical to the last one he touched in 2011. Same shape, same soul. How many? He asked. Excuse me? How many of the old crew are back? The woman smiled. So far, 12. But we're hoping for more. Linus thought of Hassan, of the others scattered across Sweden, working jobs they hated, dreaming of this place. I know where to find them, he said. April 2026. The morning shift started at 6 a.m. Linus walked through the gates with 47 other veterans. Welders, painters, electricians, all of them old, all of them smiling. Hassan walked beside him, laughing at something. You're an idiot, Hassan said. You know that, right? We're too old for this. Probably. This place will probably fail again in 5 years. Maybe. Could be 6 months. Linus stopped at his old station. The welding gun hung exactly where he'd left it 15 years ago. Someone had found it in storage and put it back. He picked it up, familiar weight, familiar grip. Then we'll be here until it does, he said. Hassan shook his head, grinning. Idiot. The buzzer sounded, the line began to move. Linus Ekberg, 48 years old, third generation Saab welder, lowered his mask and went